Figure on fight night with that distinctive ponytail of his has been kept waiting before he can have a crack at Billy Hardy's British bantamweight title. Well, he was keeping busy on this Kelvin Hall bill against the Mexican who's based in Texas, John Vasquez.
So scheduled then for 8 rounds, and Donnie Hood, very popular boxer in Scotland there in the gold and red, very spectacular looking. First time John Vasquez from Texas, from Mexican descent, obviously. Also in the town of Alice in Texas. Quite a big state, actually, for small Mexican boxers coming out of Texas, second probably only to California. So Donnie Hood now well in the running for a challenge, I would have thought, with Billy Hardy for the British Championship. In fact, manager Alex Morrison a little bit upset that he's not already got a direct challenge given way to Ronnie Carroll, who certainly fought well from Scotland against Hardy. But there you go. When you take these non-championship fights, you can never afford to lose one. Otherwise, you could lose your position at the top. And a former bantamweight, Billy Rafferty, is in charge of this one. And very former too. Well, look at his size a bit these days, but he says I mustn't call him roly-poly. Well, he won't do that. He's well formed. A few woos from the back of the crowd there, Jim, that Vasquez was allowed to get through with punches.
Yeah, well, Vasquez is a little bit more aggressive in the first round than I thought he would be, and probably more so than Hood thought he would be. Hood's taking a little bit longer than usual to get off. He's been forced on the defensive, which is a surprise to me. But we've seen young Donnie often enough. We know what will happen once he gets warmed up.
Very little separating them in the terms of weight and ages. They happen to be exactly the same, both 8'8" and both 25 years old. Well, Texan looks a willing enough performer, Jim. I don't know whether he's a puncher. He doesn't give the impression of being one.
Well, he certainly set a fair pace in the first round. He hasn't allowed Hood to get started. A good punch from Hood then. Hood beginning to warm up, putting punches together better as we come towards the end of the round. But another good right hand from Hood. Yeah, he's beginning to find the range now a bit better.
Definitely more of a solid puncher, the Scot. Oh, punch in the ribs. Now he thinks he's going to get a mandatory 8, but he doesn't. It's not in the rules for a non-championship fight. Well, there's the statistics then of the rundown for Donnie Hood, okay. As I say, he's had a great battle here with Brian Holmes, which was seen on Fight Night, just a half-point decision there. And Holmes, in fact, beats Rocky Lawler and eliminated to fight Billy Hardy. So he really has been, well, a rough deal, I would have thought, Donnie Hood, not getting a straight shot at the championship with Hardy. And there's the form guide on Vasquez. He fought February the 7th in Mobile, Alabama, so he keeps active enough. It's not a bad record, that. And we're out for the third, then, of this bantamweight scrap, and it's a good, hard enough scrap. Certainly the Glaswegians fought well. He wondered for a minute or two at the start what was happening, and then he took charge a bit. And he's really enjoying this little punch up close in like this, because he's definitely hitting harder of the two. Got some sort of conveyor belt on the west coast of America, Jim, haven't they? The way these little Mexican bantamweights and featherweights, they churn them out.
Yeah, and this one isn't too bad. I got the impression in the first round that he was throwing everything he had into the first round and then maybe look for an early night himself. But it's quite the opposite. He's a tough little fellow and he's here to put up a show. I think Hood would be better advised to make use of the jab. He's getting a little bit involved and he's not getting the power into. He's not getting the clean shots home. This is what he wants. Just stand off the Mexican a little bit, pick his way in with a jab and then land some more solid punches.
Picked that one well, the crowd appreciated, and I'm not sure Vasquez did.
See, Hood gets better results when he stands off Vasquez that little bit.
Just the lace undone there, he's not stopping the contest. A bit prolonged there, isn't it, getting that right, and I think Billy Rafferty had to show him how it was done almost at the finish. So there you are. They take time out normally for that, the timekeepers. He leads with the right hand, Jim, but it's working for Hood, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, Hood gets better results if he just stands off the Mexican that little bit. When he's too close, it becomes a little bit of a brawl and the Mexican's holding his own. But when he stands off, that little bit more power and the punches are really rattling through. This is better.
Strange the way he does that. He thinks he's going to get the standing 8 count. It doesn't happen in British boxing. So there it is, the reigning champion, of course, as I said, is on the brink of now a British title challenge. He lost to Ayub Khan in Denmark, but Khan has since defeated Pat Clinton and become the European champion. And we're into the 4th round. A very fast bantamweight fight, this. A lot of punches exchanged and mostly in favour of Donnie Hood. Touched down a couple of times now, Vasquez, and not a question of him not taking a punch, Jim. You get the impression he's actually looking for a rest. It's most unusual the way he touches down and gets up immediately.
Yeah, I don't think he's used to boxing at the pace Hood likes to box at. Hood's a good little pressure fighter, and the longer the fight goes, the tougher it's going to be for the Mexican. He wants to have a little burst and then go for a rest, but Hood won't allow that.
Really is pummeling away to the body well there, Hood. He really is sickling the Mexican slowly. Much stronger Hood, Jim, too, the way he shoves the man off when he has to.
Yeah, a far better puncher, and he is that bit more robust than Vasquez. I get the feeling if he would stand off a bit more, he could stop the Mexican.
Oh, yes, now that one hurt now. Strange enough, he didn't touch down with that one as he did previous punches. And I would think Billy Rafferty's going to dive in any second there if he doesn't fight back. He's going to take up a count, but I should think he might stop it. As you know, he's waving them on. He's looking to his corner, Vasquez. He's banging trouble here in the 4th round, and Hood won't let go of this one. Good performance by the Scot now. It's all over by the shouting. The game followed, that's to say, he's tried to Just battle back a little bit there, Vasquez, but it won't happen. Well, is he coming back or not, Jim? That's a surprise, isn't he? That's real pressure he's applied there.
He's not quite coming back, but he's surviving a little bit longer than we thought he would. It looked as though it was all over half a minute ago. But we can't doubt Vasquez's courage.
30 seconds. Well, he finished this round as he started. Complete domination, Donnie Hood there. Well, they might be looking for an excuse to get this fellow out of the fight now. I'm wondering whether this agent, Jack Leaks from Texas, is going to say, is there much point in you going on or not? So, Jim, you can pick this up again here in slow motion.
Yeah, well, once again, it looked as though Vasquez was on the way out, but he showed the same old courage, got himself back in again. He's not really in the fight now, but still plenty of courage and a little bit of strength left. Good punches here from Hood. Really on top all the way through now. Some clean shots, I think, would get the Mexican out of there.
So, out for round 5, and John Vasquez of Texas via Mexico. I mean, he really is a game little guy, but Hood has just totally dominated him now. And he stayed in there certainly longer than I thought there, Jim. Well, look, maybe the second would have found a way of getting him out as he's cut around the left eye as well. Hasn't won anything so far.
Nah, probably the Mexican school is maybe a little bit tougher than us. Just leave them in there, but he's not really got too much to offer now apart from his courage. Hood's really on top, and the little Mexican is taking some solid punches.
Well, these hard old pros, as you say, from the Mexican tough background, they hang in there and earn their corn all the time.
See, I think the Mexican is trying to stick close to Hood now. They try to cut down on the punishment he's taking, take some of the sting out of Hood's punches. Hood is far more effective if he gets a little bit of range between them.
He's got it well under control now, Hood. He can afford to take his time. He's been non-stop almost now. He's just trying to pick shots as he did there. Leads with the right, gets away with it. That's it. I think he's due to stop this any minute now, though. Already second now. No, he didn't make that clear, but it's all over there, Billy Rafferty. He just dwelt a second there. Jimmy didn't wave it away as the referees normally do. I suppose he thought, well, you all know what I'm doing anyway.
No, I think actually it was Vasquez's idea. I think Vasquez showed out to referee Rafferty that he'd had enough, and I think that actually Vasquez showed more sense than his corner did. His corner should have pulled him out.
There it is then, Jim. Let's have a look at this. You say he did turn away and hide himself in that corner as if to say, thanks very much, I've done my bit.
See, from longer range, Hood's punches are far better, and once again, a good right hand, bang on the chin. Down went the Mexican. Nothing more to offer from this point on.
Well, a brave show there by Vasquez before he quit, but Donnie Hood was always on top. Well, time for us to take another short break before bringing you 2 more fights from this busy Glasgow bill. We'll be right back.